Good morning and good afternoon, good evening everyone, wherever you're watching this from and whenever you're watching this. I've taken you outside today for this forecast video, and I just wanted to show you, before I turn the camera around, what I'm looking at. I would try to reverse the orientation so that this is the background, but it gets quite backlit, and also there's a trail right here. So there's a high likelihood that a hiker is gonna walk by, and I don't think they want to be on camera. So I just wanted to show you this for a second. There's a nice rock here. Before we talk about July 2023, if you haven't done so already, please watch my other videos, last month's video for June. You know, check out my playlists. I have a lot going on there. I've been seeing a lot of repeating numbers lately, and I've been sharing that content a lot. So just a reminder that I have that on there if you're curious for some extra insight into stuff like that. Yeah, let's get started. I'm on a very uneven surface, so I hope that this is level. I'm on an incline, so I don't know what it looks like after. It looks like it's level right now, but I might get home and start editing and it might be weird. So if so, I'm sorry. But yeah, all distractions aside, let's start talking about some things here. I don't have any notes today. I don't have any notes. I usually do. That's how I stay on topic. But I didn't feel like I should do that for this video. I've just been kind of going in circles with a lot of inner monologue regarding many different kinds of things. And in these videos, I do try to keep it as clean as possible so that you like receive a little package and that is, you know, easy to digest, is easy to consume, and like it's neat and it makes sense. But that's not how things are looking, and that's not how things are feeling these days. And I think a lot of you would agree. So I'm just kind of off the cuff here. I'm just kind of like, you know, thinking as a stream of consciousness right now instead of a clean, organized bullet list. So, you know, if that kind of video bothers you, I completely understand. But to summarize this message, this video, the main takeaway I think for July right now is that we need to change how we view life right now. And there is kind of a shift taking place, and I keep thinking about how different next year could look, and how we've been facing so many undercurrents, and how that could start to surface in July, and how crazy different things could be around this time next year as we start to address world powers, address power in general, the power struggle that we have going on, our financial institutions. You know, people keep saying that like a financial crisis is going to happen any month now, any second now, like the whole thing is just going to come falling down. And with 8, which is the year next year, the number of next year, being a financial number, could very well happen next year, but also could very well happen the year after that, because in that year we're going to be in a year of endings, of conclusions, where things that could translate to a kind of tower moment in the tarot, so to speak, where everything needs to collapse in order to recycle and we start on some kind of new path. So before we get there, I think we as a collective have to absolutely work on shifting our perspective. And maybe that is on an individual level, but I think most people watching this video have already done that kind of work. And so I kind of just want to vent about it here. I kind of just want to talk about all the ways in which we are very stuck. And one of the things that has been this has always been on my mind, but has been put to the forefront a bit, is everything that's going on within the UFO, UAP disclosures and phenomenon and whistleblowing. There's been a lot happening all at once. And I have been following this topic closely since 2013, since I watched the serious documentary that Dr. Stephen Greer has made, and I've been following his work ever since. That's kind of what I follow to most closely. It seems, I could always be wrong, but out of all the things that I've encountered in this area, that's the only source that I've trusted for a few reasons, and that's another topic. But Dr. Stephen Greer is the person that I've been following on this topic, and recently, just in June, there was a National Press Club event at DC with a bunch of whistleblowers coming forward on a lot of seemingly unfathomable, incredible, just insane, disclosure. So it's a lot to catch up on, and it's 3 hours long. You can watch it for free on his channel, Dr. Stephen Greer's channel, so I recommend checking it out if you haven't yet. Carve out some time for it if you happen to dive into that, because it's a lot to process. That maybe that could be real. Okay. And the thing that, just because of that recent event, that kind of scares me the most right now is how unprepared we are as a people. Certainly the numbers are much less than they have been historically, so we've improved, but most people cannot really understand this material. Most people still think that the sun revolves around the earth. I don't mean that literally. Obviously, most people went to science class, they learned about the solar system, okay? And then I don't think that information is integrated. I don't think that, we just take that as information and oh, cool, yeah, this thing exists, it's external, and it's just an idea to us. The universe is just still an idea to us. The fact that this is a spaceship hurtling through space, revolving around a star in a universe that is unfathomably large, cannot comprehend it with the monkey mind, with also this interdimensional aspect to it. The universe, there could be a multiverse, it could be infinite, we have no idea. It's unfathomable, but most people, this is just some crazy idea to them instead of reality, and we are still operating on this level that humans are the center of the universe and money is real. And it's how something as stupid as racism still persists, and all the problems that we see today with greed and just very misanthropic, kind of resource guarding, tribal hoarding behavior from most of the human race. And you could talk a lot about this, but to me it goes back to the fact that we really don't seem to fully understand all of this. That, yeah, things are happening in different times, not just places, in different times. That's how large everything is. There's room enough for everything. And we are so stuck on our stories and that we tell ourselves. They cannot we're having an identity crisis, it feels like, a lot of us. And I think a lot of us are just confused and trudging through molasses because a lot of us a long time ago were ready for a different world, but we're stuck. Like nothing ever moves forward. We're very stuck. It needs to change now. 5 is the number of change. This is the month that we're in right now. So if you feel frustrated, or if you feel like you're just tired of being, I don't know, kind of going through the motions, or maybe you are fatigued, or maybe, you know, whatever, if you're stuck, whatever is going on, July could be an opportunity to really try to expand. It's not just change for the sake of change. Like, I'm gonna change up my routine. Like, our minds need to really grasp what's happening right now. We need to have a better understanding of what life is. And this whole year we've been trying to define what is value, what is important, in preparation for next year, where all kinds of challenges will happen. We are hoping that it is for the better, and we are hoping that it is like this continuation of, like, I don't know what you want to call it, thinning of the veil, when things need to be much more transparent than they ever have been in order for anything to actually improve here. We're never told the truth. We just kind of like run around with knowing that something is deeply wrong, but not really understanding exactly what that is. And if we had complete transparency, the same way that we are spied on with all our apps and all our purchases and all our Google searches, if we had the same transparency within any politician in this country, just a few, you know, released documents, just a few released, you know, audio files, it wouldn't take much to really comprehend the level of corruption of this planet. And the people that make the most impact, the most negative impact, you don't know who they are. You don't see their faces. It's really just kind of like these terrible politicians that are the faces that bear the brunt of this, but they're a symptom. They have a function that goes beyond what is apparent. There's no transparency. So, as I said, I know a lot of people, the kind of person that would probably be watching this video would at least be open to these ideas, if not already following it and developing their own opinion about it, developing their own understanding about it in the way that they need to. But I've seen this need to catch up. Like, I just can't believe that I'm still, you know, like, there's tons of things going on, not just at Dr. Stephen Greer National Press Club event. I keep calling it conference. It's with the National Press Club in DC. Okay, it's not just that kind of stuff that has happened, but I saw like a very long video recently of NASA beginning like an actual investigation of these documents and video files that have just recently been disclosed and released, and them trying to actually, you know, figure out what those are and what's happening. So I can't believe that with how big the universe is, people are still just thinking things like, I don't know, it seems pretty unlikely that aliens are around. I'm just like, really? You don't understand how insignificant we are. I sometimes, I don't actually know obviously, but I sometimes think that humans were purposefully kept in like this tiny section of the galaxy where like nothing is in also the same solar system, but in the immediate vicinity for us to fuck up. Like, I really sometimes think that humanity is like an insane asylum for souls, and some of us are just dropped in here to like help out and also be a part of this crazy weird experiment, you know. And sometimes it feels like that. Sometimes it feels like we're just these bastard children, these mental cases that not everyone really knows what to do with. So let's just put them all over here and let them figure it out while we go live out our existence in the universe and evolve the way that we need to, because that's gonna just disrupt everything. Sometimes I feel that it is like that we are the kids, the new kids on the block, and we are pretty insane and we're not invited to anything yet. Would you want to talk to us? Because I would not. I would still stay the hell away from here as far as possible. Especially if what Dr. Stephen Greer is what he's saying is true. Because according to him, we have developed some kind of electromagnetic weapon system and this has been going on for a very long time, that has been able to intercept these vehicles that are maybe interdimensional, you know. It's not just about traveling in space. We don't really know. And now we're on a warpath to space. Plot twist, America might just be the country that had the weapons of mass destruction all along. You know, you ever notice, I know a lot of people here have had this experience because we live in such a narcissistic society, but have you ever had to unfortunately be in close contact with a narcissist or someone with some kind of pathology? There's a rainbow of pathology here. And you know, that could be like a parent or a friend, or, you know, just someone like a boss, someone that you had to work with and you had to be in close contact with them a lot. And you ever kind of like take away the kind of manipulation tactics that they had? One of them I've noticed is with the form of gaslighting, I guess you could say it is. That's been a very popular buzzword used and overused a little bit now, but technically I would consider this gaslighting. But have you ever noticed that they have this tendency to flip the script? Like, they exhibit all these terrible behaviors, and then like they know that person knows what's up, and so to try to protect themselves, they flip the script and say, actually, you know, you see what's happening here? That's this person, or that's you with the problem. And it's like, no, that's all on you. You flipped the script. That's kind of what I feel like happened here. That was one of the ways that they have convinced our sheep like mentality, or the sheeple, you know, how to do what they want them to do, while, you know, basically getting their permission by diverting the attention somewhere else. You know, if I was a crazy psychopathic narcissist of some kind, if I was a misanthropic money whore, I personally would identify exactly what it is that person is aware of. Like, okay, they know something is up. I would then, with an entire populace of people who know something is deeply wrong, and knowing that, I would feed them very careful information that is inflammatory, that makes them upset because they are victims of an injustice. And then I would just take the truth and I would just sway it ever so slightly, so that they believe that an immigrant is their enemy, or they believe another country is their enemy, or they think their neighbor is their enemy. To any extent, doesn't matter. I would keep the poor very busy fighting one another. I would dissolve the middle class, and I'd hold on to the upper middle class so that everyone else believes they deserve to be poor. And I would do everything that I could to continue to live like a god. That's what I would do if I was a crazy resource guarding shit throwing primate. So yeah, if I was an alien, I wouldn't want to talk. Going back to the original topic, yeah, I wouldn't want to. Would you want to talk to us, honestly? Because I would not. I am a human, and I don't understand. I'm like, what is every day? I mean, this video, I went to something a little specific, but every day I navigate this world, and I'm like, how did you get like that? Like, how was that where you got to? Mostly I seek to understand and not judge, but it just, everything makes a lot of sense, and I don't know how we're worse off, honestly, than we are, given everything that I've personally seen. It's kind of miraculous that all of us got to where we are to any extent, and we are very much like children with very dangerous toys, I think. We like to make everything a weapon. We don't know how else to do anything but make things weapons. So, of course, bringing it back to metanoia, I've said this many times, I'll say it always, we can't change anything unless we look at it. So this video is not to have a bunch of solutions, but for us to have our attention on it. And I want to just kind of stir the pot so that whoever is watching this video right now, I give you permission to at least try to expand your awareness, try to do something different. And you could begin with following something out of intuition or something that is on your mind. You could start there, but we really need to experience a shift, all of us, and it might happen in a hard way this month. I don't know what's going on, but I know that many different people that I follow personally within the spiritual community keep saying stuff like, there's a shift coming and it's happening now, and this is one of these times where a lot of stuff happens fast. And I agree. I think July could be that month where a lot of things happen very quickly. So it was important in June to try to get grounded and to, get some things done, because there might not be any time for anything other than just like dealing with the day or whatever happens that week. And man, even if the change is really hard, I really do hope that something happens this month that pushes things forward. And something that was pretty ominous and what I found honestly very frustrating was that Dr. Greer, during that event, talked about how, based on his sources, we have about 6 months left to really start getting our ass in gear on these, on like addressing the crimes against humanity. Otherwise, he said, something will take place instead. Or, and if you're frustrated with how vague that is, me too. I wish that there was transparent. Of course, we don't know what that is, and there might be very good reason why you should not just, start making claims, or like, it's good to be reserved in some cases because it's better to not know. But I found that to be very frustrating that, I like everything that Dr. Stephen Greer does, but it's like, really, we can't know like what's gonna happen if we don't really start to do an actual investigation and hold psychopaths accountable for their crimes against humanity. Yes, the military is a scary thing. You can disagree with everything that has been going on And that's totally fine, because it's nuts. But if the one thing that we all have to get on the same page is that we've weaponized every single part of our society. The military is a very scary thing, and we need to have all eyes on it from now on if we are to make it. Power struggles next year. Money. Karma. So let's really try to advance. Let's try to evolve our consciousness this year. Let's try to have a deeper understanding of what's happening so that we are prepared for the next couple of years. And just be where you are, as always. Start there. And I think that's all that I have to say for July right now. I wish I had more time to make more videos. I want to talk more about my book, even though I have very little time to write the thing. I have written quite a lot. I have quite a lot of content. Some free, some has a paywall. It's on Substack. Check out the link in the description. I have an on writing section, a journal entry section, and then a Metanoia section, which is where I've been sharing my book. And so I highly recommend checking that out if you haven't done so already. And also sign up for my Patreon service where I give personal readings to you guys. It's $10 a month. The 7-year globally is a great time to start that, as everything is very confusing. Or maybe you have journeyed on your 7-year. This is a good time to start something like that. If you haven't, you know, if you just have been thinking about doing it, like I recommend now. Now is a good time, because it's gonna be a bumpy ride. So buckle up. Thank you so much for watching this video. This was kind of a long video, so if you made it to the end, thank you so much. Thank you for being here. It helps a lot. All the likes and all the comments and just watching these videos is really helpful. So thank you. And I'm gonna go for now. I'll see you all soon. I hope that you have an enlightening, impactful, maybe even fun July. You know, hopefully for some of you it's not that serious. Hopefully it's just about, you know, trying, you know, having a meaningful experience, you know. Embrace the experiences, not just, you know, what we have to catch up on with our understandings. In fact, I think that will help us right now. So yeah, keep that in mind. I'll see you all soon. Take care.